boys and girls, it's time for science story time. And today I have a book about shapes to share with you. It's called Shapes That Roll, and it is by Karen Nagel and illustrations by Steve Wilson. Shapes that roll, shapes that can't. Shapes with sides that angle and slant. Some shapes stack, some shapes don't. Look out! Shapes to throw, shapes to share. Shapes that dangle in the air. Shapes that shine, shapes that freeze. Shapes of fruits that grow on trees. Shapes that open, shapes to close, shapes that stand in rows. Shapes that teeter, shapes that play, shapes that help people find their way. A shape that's whole, as shapes in pieces, shapes with many folds and creases. Shapes are heavy, shapes are light, pillow shapes are sure to bite. Spheres are round, circles are flat. Squares line down and cubes are flat. The end. Now our book is called Shapes That Roll, and we're going to try out some different shapes today to see what rolls. I have a bunch of things I just found around my house. You can look around your house and you can experiment with anything a grown-up says to experiment with. Now first, we need something for the shapes to roll down, and I have this piece of cardboard that came in a package I got in the mail that I'm going to use as a ramp. You can check with your grown-up and see what they have. And let's start with a cylinder, a cardboard tube for my recycling bin. Let's see if that will roll. I'm going to put it on the top of my ramp. Are you ready to look? 1, 2, 3. Yes, that did roll. It rolled all the way across the table. Let's try a different one. Let's try, let's try a cardboard tube that's also a cylinder, but it's a little bit rounder and a little bit skinnier, but it's a little bit wider. Let's see what that does. Let's see if the size makes a difference. Nope, that rolled all the way across the table too. My goodness. Let's try a different shape. I know, let's try a triangle. Will that roll? What do you think? Let's try it and see. Nope, that slid. Now I have a different triangle. That triangle is made of wood. This is made of plastic. Let's see if the material makes a difference. Let's try to roll it. Nope, that just fell. Did you hear the noise it made when it fell? Let's try, let's try a can. See my can? This came from my recycling bin just like my cardboard. Let's see what it does. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that rolled all the way across the table too. Wow, cylinders roll really well. I guess all cylinders roll because we tried different sizes and different materials. Let's try a cube. This is a box that somebody gave me a Christmas present in that I saved to do experiments with. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Nope, spheres just slide. Now let's try something tricky. This is a shape. This is something I borrowed from Miss Michelle. And it's not smooth like our other shapes. It's kind of hairy. Let's see if it rolls. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It did roll, but it rolled slowly. I think that's because it is a sphere, but I think all these little hairs on it slowed it down. So when we did it, rolled it kind of took its time. It didn't roll fast like the other things did. Let's try something else. This is something that's a sphere, but it's kind of pointy. Well, the other sphere was hairy. Let's see what this does. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. was so big, I don't know if you could see it rolling, and then it kept rolling when it hit the table. It went fast. I'm gonna reach for it. Yeah, it was pointy, but it went fast. And the one that was a little bit hairy went slow. So sometimes, even though the shape rolls, the things that are on the shape affect the speed. Let's see, let's try one more thing. Oh, I have a hook shape. I wonder what that will do. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Nope, that just fell. So, boys and girls, we did a lot of experimenting to see what would roll, and then we found out some things roll fast and some things roll slow, even if they're the same kind of shape. So at home, you can look with your grown-up and you can figure out a way to do a ramp. You can just hold up a piece of cardboard like I did, or you can get fancy and try to prop up a ramp with your grown-up. And then you can find different shapes and shapes with this different surface materials and shapes that are made of different things, and try them, see what rolls and what doesn't, and what rolls fast and what rolls slow. Okay, boys and girls, I had a lot of fun exploring shapes with you today. I don't know if you noticed in our book, we had that page where it said shapes with many folds and creases. We did another science story time about folds and creases called Bridges and Fans. You can go back and look at that science story time video if you want as well. And don't forget to have your grown-up click like and subscribe. Bye, boys and girls.